Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something clicked. I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it. And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist.
This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening.
It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session. I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
How are you?
Don't really know.
Yeah.
A lot's gone on the last couple of days, and I was very almost angry that I would inevitably end up having to work with this part. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
so part's been coming up, and then there's been anger about having to work with it.
Yeah, I mean, there was an external event, and then obviously I'm also now thinking about that, the anxiety of it going public one day. That's all, and that, sort of saying anything that would then make it obvious as to who it was or anything like that. Yeah. So there's just been a suicide in the community, and this person was a very prominent person and very well known, very interconnected with a lot of people, and just affected a lot of people. I mean, I spent the summer with his daughter. Yeah. So, but obviously, I have questions, but
yes,
I think the biggest, parts that's come up for me have been my suicide. Comparative to this, and
the internet dropped for just a second. You said your own suicidal thoughts,
ideation. Yeah, how that is for me.
Okay, so there's this external event. Then there's thinking, I have to deal with this. I have to talk about this. There's a part that's angry about having to. There's anxiety about it going public. And then there's your own suicidal ideation. that comes up around it?
Yeah, as in it's more like relational. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, like the way there's been too many suicides, just too many.
Mm-hmm.
And I think until right now, I always was like, okay, I've been there. I could do this as well. I don't know in what capacity or how I would do it, or like aspects of like, the taking care and making, like, writing notes to everyone and all of that. And I try not to like go down there, because otherwise then it opens the possibility that I could do it. But if I haven't done any of that like prep work, I can't do that. So I like had all these sorts of thoughts, and then now with this, it's been just like I just, no, I don't think I could ever do that. And if it did happen, it would be a pure accident. And but then the more I think about it, and the more I hear things and snippets of information, and I think, well, he wasn't, it wasn't, I don't know, like maybe he wasn't in control, so to speak. I mean, that's what I want to believe, that it was done on like he was just so unwell, and he completely was not in control. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, then maybe I could do it. I just wouldn't have realized I'd done it, or like I don't even know. But the stronger feelings I had was that I could never do that. I couldn't do it to my family. I couldn't do it to my friends. I think I do like life that much. And I also, when I do have suicidal ideation, which I'm not trying to diminish at all, but I think it's with a sense of, I want the pain to end. I don't want to be dead. I just don't want to be like this, So just lots of confusing, conflicting question marks and sadness and empathy, and I want to fix the situation. I don't know. Sorry, I could go on.
It's okay. So, thank you. A few things that I'd like to address, and maybe the first and easiest is about the anxiety of what you share and what might go public. I just want you to know that you have full control, full veto power, that absolutely none of it has to be shared. And you'll have lots of time to decide that.
Right.
And, sometimes you might tell a story and we can just make a little cut, and suddenly it's not just something that anyone would be able to figure out who you're talking about. So I just want you to know, I want you and your parts to know that you can share as freely as you like and can kind of make that decision later, and that I won't have any negative feelings about that if you decide that you don't want any of it to be going public.
Right. Okay.
Another part that said it has to work with this. We don't have to talk about anything, any topic. There's really nothing that we have to do in these calls. So I also want to extend that offer to you, that you can go wherever you want in this call. And you might decide, I don't want to do this today, and hang up, and that's fine too.
Right.
How would you feel about having a minute of quiet meditation and just listening out for what parts come up in that time?
I think I probably need to do that.
Okay. Would you like more than a minute?
Maybe
How many minutes? 2 minutes.
I won't use it too much.
It's totally your call.
Yeah, another part.
2 minutes?
Yeah, go on.
I'll set a timer. Okay. So, how would you like to start? We could look for any parts that need your attention, that you'd like to change your relationship with. Or you could start with a trailhead, which means just talking about whatever's up for you.
I don't know about like targeting anything. I don't know. Wait, okay. I can say like what I went through what came up during that 2 minute period. I felt tearful, like the beginning. And then in that like reaction to that sort of sadness, there was a lot of like comparing of like pain and who am I to feel sad about I don't know what when other people are in a much worse predicament. And then I was a bit distracted by just life, like whatever, my day to day. And then try to bring myself back just to be present. And yeah.
Okay. So a tearful, sad part, and then another part saying, who am I to feel this when others have it much worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel grounded at all. I feel very I don't know if erratic is a bit too far, but like just not present.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm assuming that if you're feeling not present, it's because parts are blended with you.
Right.
And if we continue naming them and seeing who needs your attention, getting space from them, then that presence will emerge. That's my hypothesis.
Okay.
You up for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So who's at the front of the line? Yes, go ahead.
Panic rising.
Panic.
Yeah.
How do you notice it in your body?
Like a tingling all over my arms and legs, and then like gasps, like yeah, like I think like holding my breath.
Okay. See if you can send it the message that it's welcome. I know it's probably not comfortable when it's taking over, but it's welcome to show up and to let us know what it needs us to know about it. How do you feel towards the panicking part?
I want to do whatever this is right, and then if letting it in fully is right, then I want to do it, and I'm anxious on not doing it right.
Okay.
Not like opening up properly and
so you want to do IFS right?
Yeah, and like what you say, and
I'm mostly just going to ask questions about
that's fine.
how you're feeling, and in my experience of working with you, you always do that right because you just say what's up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say you can't do this wrong.
Right.
But I have a part of me that wants to leave that door open. Well, maybe there's a way to do it wrong. But I don't think you're doing it wrong. Acknowledge that part that really wants to get it right. Just let it know that we see it. And you might let it know that if I feel like we're not doing it right, I'll say something. So it doesn't have to worry so much because I can take some responsibility for that.
Right. I think I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my head, letting the panic in means like being awash with it and like having a panic attack.
Right. Yeah, and that's quite unpleasant, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes total sense to me. Okay. And I'm not suggesting that you let the panic overwhelm you. In fact, I'm going to suggest that by looking at it, we're actually getting space from it. And the same goes with all parts.
Right.
That to get to know them doesn't require letting them blend with you.
Okay.
So I agree with that scared part, that if all we did was just turn up the panic, that would not be very productive. And that would be kind of scary feeling. So see if you can ask the panicking part for a little space. When we say it's welcome, that just means it's welcome to be who it is. And we'd like to get to know it. But if it will give you some space, then we'll be able to see it better. And it won't just take over. How's it respond to that?
Step aside, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. You can thank it. How do you feel towards the panicking part?
Uncertain. Like I'm eyeing it like, what is it about you that like comes here? And yeah, just like unsure of my relationship with it. what it's trying to protect me from or help me do.
Sounds like curiosity.
Yeah.
I'm wondering the same thing.
Mm.
We let it know that we're both curious about it.
I keep thinking, like, when you ask me a question like that, I don't know if it's, I mean, it goes back to, I think, like the whole right and wrong thing is like, do some people do that out loud? Or like, am I supposed to mouth it? Or like say it, like, am I just think it? I don't know. I'm just.
Whatever feels right for you. Some people do it out loud.
Right.
Some people don't.
Right. I don't trust myself to do even, I don't know, what's right for me. I don't know.
You could try both and see which it responds to.
And it'd be even how it responds. Like, and not just this, but like in general, like, I think, I guess you'd say I was blending back in with the part of like, I then go, but is that me or is it the part? But the part is me. And then I don't trust me. I guess there's a distrust in all of my parts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we're practicing.
Right.
That's what this is all about, is building that trust. And maybe they haven't seen you do this before. Maybe they have every reason not to trust that you know what you're doing or that you'll do it right.
Yeah.
So we'll just work on that one step at a time.
Okay. I feel very tearful, but like, it won't come. It never comes when you want it to, or when you feel like it is the right time.
What never comes?
The tears.
Yeah. You could just let the tearful part know that you see it. And that it's also welcome.
Feels like everything would be better if it would work. If I could cry. I've equated like a release of tension and all the problems in the world to a release of tears. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I'm wondering if that's coming from the tearful part itself. Is it saying,
Yeah.
just let me come out and have those tears and then everything will feel better?
Yeah, I think,
okay.
I don't know if there's like, or if I feel like there's, I've created in my mind like an equation of like crying equals like, what's
Yeah, maybe. And maybe you've had some experience with that. The relief that comes through crying. Maybe there's a part that says that that's the ultimate tool.
Yeah.
Feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those parts are welcome too.
But I think I always, because of that part, there was always then like just the pressure that if that didn't happen, I was bad at doing everything else, like working on myself.
Yes. Right. So this part's saying if you don't cry, you're not doing it right. You're not going deep enough, and you're not going to get that real relief.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Very much so.
Makes sense to me too.
And that's why I would, I've not done it for a while.
Cried?
But no. I've cried plenty today. No, I have. But I've not done what I'm about to say for a while. Like, but I used to, like, almost like therapy shop, because I would, like, be desperate for, like, my end goal was to be able to cry in therapy. I just never did. So I was like, well, the therapist doesn't know how to, I don't know, get me to go deeper, or I'm failing.
Yeah. What does this part believe? So the part believes that crying is this great release, right? And that means you're doing it right. What is it? What does it think about the need to do that with a therapist? Like, why is that important to it?
I think it's because it's like, there's a part that believes it's the ultimate level of vulnerability to be able to break down like that, and to be seen doing that by someone else, you know, not just alone in a bedroom, or, you know. So to be able to do that with a therapist, that means you've, like, hit the nail on the head, or
and that's something, but it believes that if you were to do that alone in the bedroom, what would be missing?
The holding of the space, and maybe, like, the using of that, of the tears, like, and in the therapeutic space, that's, like, the place to do that, because they can hold the space and then use the tears to, I don't know what.
That makes sense.
Therapist.
Can I offer a hypothesis, and you can just check it out with that part and see if it resonates? Is it about the holding of the part? Is the part concerned that if it cries alone in the bedroom, that there won't be anyone to hold it?
I think that's true even for when I'm not crying. I think there's a big lack of feeling held, feeling loved.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel towards the part that has that big lack?
Sad.
Are you feeling, is that its sadness, or are you feeling sad for it?
I feel sad for it. And then I kind of go between, like, wanting to be that person to hold it, but then equally, but then being that part, and not, and then being wanting to hold it, but then being like, no, you can't hold that. It needs to come externally.
I think your intuition is spot on, which is the idea that you can hold that part and you can be that person. And it also makes sense to me that that part would say, no, you can't. That's not good enough. It has to come from outside.
Right. I need so much external validation. It's incredible. And
that's what it says. That's what it feels.
No, but I even laugh, like a sad laugh, that even here, when I hear you say, you just said something, I don't even remember, on the lines of, you validated, I don't know, feeding into like what we spoke about before of me needing to know that I'm doing it right. So you were telling me I was doing it right. And I think I hear it and it feels good, and to be validated that like, hey, I'm doing this right. And then equally, I have a part that says, it's so pathetic. Like, why? Like, I don't know.
That it's pathetic to need that?
Yeah, I don't know. Or like, kind of like, I've had it in therapy before where she'll just mirror what I say. And I smirk, and she's like, why you laughing? Like, what's funny? And I was like, I know you're just doing like pure textbook therapy, like, model right now. But like, it's ironic, it works. But like, I feel stupid. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm human.
I'd love to get to know that part.
The human part?
The one that says that is pathetic.
Okay.
You all right with that?
Yeah.
How do you feel towards it?
Like a mixture of things. Like there's like a humorous side to it. Like feel very, very small. And I'm getting like a lot of young ages with it. I don't know, like I don't know. Loads of thoughts towards it. I like don't even know where to start. Like jumble, a lot of confusion, and I feel like I'm stuttering with it even, like
See if you can just invite it to notice you.
I don't know who me is.
Yeah, I hear that. Don't know who me is. Okay, fair enough.
And then another little voice like, I don't know if I want to know who me is. And then the tearfulness flickers back.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of tricky. I want to just kind of apologize for the clumsiness of the language because, who are you compared to your parts? It's not something we have very complete language for.
I think I go between seeing the parts and then I feel like I try to, I don't know if I try or if I just, maybe when I'm less, oh gosh, the room's spinning. When I go less, it feels like I'm less like present with the parts and I become more philosophical with the parts. That's when this sort of thing can happen of like, what's me? I'm me.
Yes.
I'm my thoughts. I don't know.
The philosopher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also welcome. Also very valuable.
Right. The room is spinning so fast.
Maybe you could just ask all the parts for space. Ask them all to turn down the volume a little bit. Let them know that if they're spinning the room, it's going to be difficult to get to know any of them and help any of them.
There's I don't know.
Earlier I said that I would tell you if I thought you were doing it wrong or we were doing it wrong. And I still haven't felt that way. I just wanted to provide that checkpoint. So far, sounds like we're doing it right to me. So when I say invited to notice you, that you I'm alluding to is self. And there's a part that says, well, I don't know who me is. That you would be the one who's curious.
Okay.
It's curious about other parts. It's also compassionate about other parts. And so I might say, invited to notice you. And a part says, what? I don't see, what you are you talking about? And you might say, yeah, there's no curiosity or compassion here, which is fine. That just means parts are blended. I also want to invite parts to know that they can all just speak with me directly too.
They can what? Speak to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes people are, we spend a lot of energy trying to unblend. Right. And, at the moment, I don't feel very blended with parts. So I feel like I have a fair degree of self-energy available. And so if there's not curiosity on your end, then I can provide mine, and they can just speak directly with me.
Right. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's also not doing it wrong. That's also not doing it wrong. So is there a part that would like to speak with me most? Is there one who needs my attention the most? Or would like my attention the most?
The feeling pathetic, but I don't know if it's just because it was the most recent. So as I was thinking, it came up.
Yeah. Okay. Feeling pathetic. I'm curious about you. Are you there, and will you speak with me?
Yeah.
So you come up. When do you come up? When do you come up and say this is pathetic?
During lots of interactions with other people, or right after.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I'm sensing a few ages. But some make sense and some don't make sense. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going or what I need to do.
You don't need to do anything. And you also don't have to answer a single question that I ask you. I'm curious about the part that says this is pathetic. And when it last came up in this conversation, I believe it was when we were looking at a part that felt a big lack and like it needed to be held by someone external.
Mm.
Yeah. And then pathetic part came up, or saying that's pathetic came up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why'd you come up at that time? Can you tell me just anything about that?
Something along the lines of like some sort of I see it like in quotations of like healthy people can hold themselves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So long as I can't seem to hold myself, I can never be healthy. You know?
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Asking to be held is weird.
It's uncomfortable asking to be held. Yeah. That also makes a lot of sense to me. And I'm inclined to agree with the first thing you said. I wouldn't use the phrase healthy people necessarily, but that actually is kind of my goal, or what I believe the goal of IFS is to help people learn to access the self-energy that is capable of holding the parts that need it. So I'm with you on that. And if you see in that system that no one is there to hold those parts, I think you're right that that's something to call attention to. How does it feel to you to hear me say that?
Could you repeat the last bit?
Mm-hmm. So you were saying that healthy people can hold themselves, and you don't see that happening in your system. So therefore you're not healthy.
Right.
And I was semi-agreeing that is kind of the goal here, is to be that primary caretaker, to be the one who can hold parts. And that if you don't see that, then I think it makes total sense to be concerned about that. To say, hey, there's nobody here holding this crying part. This is a problem.
Right.
I've had that same problem in me when I had crying parts and nobody there to hold them. And a lot of those same concerns. The discomfort of having to ask someone else, or the disappointment. And I have my own parts that say, well, this is pathetic. Why do you need this? Why can't you just either get over it or just do it? What comes up for you when you hear me say that?
I think that like it was comforting at the end when you say that, you know, it comes up for you as well.
Definitely.
And then before that, it's difficult because I find a part thinking like, I'm not sure I ever want that goal. And that makes me feel very confused because all of this is me wanting to, reach a higher level of self and be more whole and be healthier, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But
there's a part saying it thinks maybe you don't want that goal of being able to
hold myself.
Hold yourself, yeah.
Right. I think it's a real scared part that doesn't maybe, I don't know, has never really been held by me.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
And therefore,
so why would it trust that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a really weird thing happening in my field of vision that is very difficult to describe. And there's something crazy about it. I don't know. I always get these when I have my eyes closed for long periods of time. I don't know.
Visuals.
Yeah, like last time it was like this huge room where like I feel like I'm tiny and at one end of it. And before I had the spinning room. And now it's like I've got my like arm over my eyes and my arm feels the size of like a room. Like, and I'm leaning like a foot on the other foot, and that feels also like just huge. Not that I'm being crushed by my arm, but like everything feels very out of proportion. And I feel like if I opened my eyes and took my arm off, it would sort of go instantly. I also equally like not sure I want it to go.
Is the part that feels tiny the same one that doesn't really trust or believe that it could be held?
I definitely see her. Yeah.
You
like a tiny me.
How do you feel towards her?
Like she's so fragile. I don't want to break her.
Yeah. Yeah. She's sensitive.
Right.
Yeah. You might just let her know that you see her.
I'll let you know. I see her.
And that you see how sensitive she is and how cautious that you want to be.
Right. Just find myself thinking, like, you've been a horrible, awful parent to her.
Okay.
And yet.
How do you respond to that part that says you've been a horrible parent?
There's like the defenses, like, I didn't know any different, or it wasn't my space.
Yeah, this is all new to you, right?
I didn't know what I don't know, I didn't have the right tools.
Yeah.
But like,
I think you're right. I think most people don't have the right tools
great, but then I lash back and it's not good enough. There's no excuse. It's just, I deserve to be punished for it. Someone else should look after her.
Okay. So this part thinks you should be punished?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is it hoping that a punishment would accomplish?
To destroy that part for good.
Destroy which one?
Me? I don't know.
And if it were to destroy you, what's it hoping that would achieve?
Someone else should look after her.
Yeah, because this part knows that there are people out there who are really good parents, and it wants her to have a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really cares about that girl. Yeah, makes sense to me.
I hear her saying, like, I want you.
The girl wants you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're my mom. You're my mom.
Can you let the one who wants you to be punished, just let it know that you understand? And you could even thank it for looking out for that little girl and wanting it to have a good mother. And then you could ask it for space and ask it if it trusts you to get a little closer to the one who says, you're my mom, and wants you.
Just keep wondering if, like, this is what my self-harm has been about. Because I see myself, like, doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And never felt, like, fully connected to, like, why I did it.
Are you talking about the self-harm?
Yeah.
Is that the punishment part? That
I used to say punishment, but I didn't know. I wasn't referring to not looking after the little me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ask the punishment part if that's the same, if it's also the one that drives you to do the self-harm. If that's for the same reason.
So it was additional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was part of that reason. There was other stuff too.
Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Does it make sense that the self-harm was protective? Or that the intention was good? Well, it wants you to be punished because it wants to protect this little girl who's sensitive. And it has other reasons why for the self-harm, and I bet they are similar. Maybe not about this same little girl, but they have similar kind of good intentions of protecting you from something else. Could you just check that out with it, see if I'm in the right ballpark?
Don't know. I find like I'm fighting the the question that's going on is like, how is a punishment protective?
Mm-hmm.
But if that punishment is self-harm, how is self-harm protective? And I think that the only thing is like that it was protecting me from maybe doing something worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess from feeling things that I was choosing not to feel or wasn't ready to feel.
Yeah. You could check all that out with those parts, the ones that do the self-harm and the punishment.
Yeah. I don't know. And then the eating's coming up because I think that's where some of that punishment comes up.
Yeah.
For eating.
Yeah. And you're feeling curious about all this?
Trying.
I hear it. I hear that curiosity. And we can spend as much time with any part as feels right. So maybe it is these punishment parts, self-harm, eating parts. Who needs your attention the most? It's whatever feels right for you.
I keep thinking something about like something stopping me from sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's more of the recording thing coupled with more of like it's a much bigger conversation that like I'm not so sure about.
Okay.
About how it comes in or how to address it. It's just another thing that I was doing.
Can you say that again? It cut off. Thing that
it's just another thing that I would punish myself for doing.
Yeah. Okay, so the punishment parts have been active about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think then like the very black and white thinking is like coming, like defending me for punishing and for cutting, because if you're not all good, then you're bad. And this very black and white and world that I seem to inhabit.
But that part does. Black and white part.
And then I have like an overwhelming feeling of wanting to be held now.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you identify the part that wants to be held now? Which of these parts wants to be held? Is it the little girl in the room, or is it one of these punishment parts?
Both. All.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. How would it feel to start with one of the punishment parts? Just offer it. Just offer it. If it would be okay to let you hold it.
Me?
Yeah, offer the punishment part. It can say no, but just see if it would like to try that. To try letting you hold it.
feels so abstract. I don't know, like...
We could just ask it. Would it like to try that? And just see how it feels.
It's kind of like, yeah, but like asking, what does that mean?
Okay, well, let's find out. Do you feel close to the punishment part? Does it feel far away?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
But reachable, like within arm's length. About arm's length.
Does feel like it's within arm's length? Yeah.
About arm's length.
Yeah. So you could invite it to get closer than arm's length. You feeling compassionate for it?
I don't know.
Okay. It feels like it's at arm's length.
No, it's closer now.
And how does it feel for it to be closer? What's it feel like?
Like it's hot.
Is that a good hot?
It's tolerable.
Okay. Let it know that it's tolerable. Let it know that you're okay with it coming a little closer to you and that you can be okay with that heat. And if at any time it does feel like too much, then you can ask for it to step back.
My head's exploding.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Are you okay with it? I know it's a lot going on.
It's not by my head, it was, on my chest. But, like, my head.
Does it feel like too much? Feels overwhelming?
I don't know.
Okay. I think you're doing fine.
Going.
I mean, it sounds to me, again, I would tell you if I thought we were doing something wrong here. I'm not detecting that. But if at any point you're feeling overwhelmed or like this is too much, you can just take a step back and thank that part for trying. And for it's courage in letting you know that it did want to be held, and for giving you that opportunity to try.
Shaking my head.
Yeah? What's that about?
Because I don't feel like I could do that.
Okay.
I didn't think that. I think in my quest of doing things right and of pushing myself as hard as possible to better myself, that I would be able to stop myself and to even gauge if, I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe saying if it was doing more harm than good, or if just that it was done, or I'd gotten far enough for that part.
Good questions.
Yeah, like I
think those are important questions.
Right. I don't think I have the boundaries in this domain.
Okay. Let's appreciate that. And yeah, we can be more careful and mindful about what are the appropriate boundaries for you and what feels right for you. I don't want to push you to do anything that doesn't feel right.
No, but I feel like as of now, everything feels right. You know, like I don't know.
How does the punishment part feel?
I think it a bit got sidetracked. Well, pushed aside. Off.
Yeah.
Did her thing, figuring stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does the figuring stuff out part want to try being held?
I don't know.
You could ask it.
Doesn't deserved.
What's that?
Said it doesn't deserve to. I don't know if that was
the
right response. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't sit right with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bet there's a lot of parts that feel like they don't deserve it.
Right.
Yeah. How do you feel towards that figuring it out part?
Like, unimpressed. It's kind of like you could do better.
That's how you feel towards it?
Yeah.
You think that it could do better?
Yeah, in the sense of like, I think what's the part of it that's coming up for me is like that that part that like can't say stop or can't make a boundary in this area, and it just wants to go deeper and deeper, or you know, more intense and more intense, and and like why it like, so that part of like, no, like you should have more control, you should do better.
Okay. Yeah, so the figuring out part does that checking of the boundaries and making sure that you're doing it right. And when it feels like those boundaries aren't being respected, then this part's saying, hey, we need you to do more of that.
Say that again, which part? Sorry.
It's okay. So there's a figuring out part. There's a part that is looking out for the process and doing it right?
Yeah.
And that includes you having the right boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah. Does that all make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let it know that makes sense to you. And how do you feel towards that part?
Something about it needs to be contained. Originally the word was control. But I went with contained. Yeah. Feel a little distracted.
Okay. We've met a lot of parts.
Yeah.
We've met a lot of parts, and you've done a lot of experimenting and learning about different parts. So you could try just maybe thanking the ones that showed up and let you get to know them a little better. Thanking the one. Mm-hmm.
I take big issue with how my body responds.
Uh-huh.
You know, whether that's my head or the tightness in my chest or other stuff, it really throws me off, perturbs me, and brings up a lot of confusion and other parts.
Yeah, when you get strong sensations in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Well, I think it's kind of the foundation of parts detecting. I mean, I get that you don't like it because it's probably uncomfortable sometimes or it distracts you.
Yeah.
But that actually could be one of your superpowers, is that you notice when something comes up in your body.
And
that means you can go to it and find out why. Like, I'm someone, I don't consider myself very body aware. And so I can just neglect parts of my body that are calling out for attention for decades.
Right.
Or I can get myself in situations where, I'm just ignoring all of the kind of warning signs that my body's giving me.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I'm doing parts work, same thing. You know, I'm so focused on, I'm working with this part that I'm ignoring the other stuff that's coming up. And so I think that could be a real strength that you have of detecting that.
Just, no. I guess it's just one that really bothers me.
Yeah.
I think because I don't understand it. I don't understand.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. We're going to continue understanding parts. And then the more you understand them, the less they will bother you.
Right.
How are you feeling overall?
In my body?
Yeah.
Oh, pardon? You said yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Feel a bit shivery,
Mm-hmm.
Just before, tingling everywhere. Some pain in my back.
Mm-hmm.
And then just head stuff, not physical, just
okay.
Confusion.
Yeah. Okay.
And mild curiosity.
All right.
And
all right. Just let those parts know that you notice them. And, most of the parts that we visited today, we didn't really conclude a conversation with. Like, there was the panicking part in the beginning, and it kind of led to another part and led to another part, which is fine. And it's really great to get to know who all is in there and who's related to who. But you could just let them know that you see that, we started a bunch of conversations that we weren't able to complete. And sometimes that can feel kind of disruptive to parts.
Right.
So that might be something that I'm thinking about in future conversations of how we can,
finish. Right.
Finish those conversations. I think, again, I don't think that it's because we did it wrong. I think that it will get easier.
Right.
Because you'll notice, oh, it's that one again. It's that one trying to distract me again or get my attention again. I already know why that is a little bit. And now that I've acknowledged it, it feels better about allowing that space. I think that's usually how it goes.
Right.
So you can thank all your parts for showing up and let them know that you'd like to get to them. You'd like to understand them.
Mm-hmm.
And you could ask. Go ahead.
I find myself like trying to say that to them, and like it just like not being comfortable either for me or for them. I don't know. And so then like I make a compromise, and I'm like, you're gonna speak to James. Don't worry. Or like James is gonna get to know you.
That.
James is gonna get to know you.
Yeah, and I already have a little tiny bit, and I would love to do more of that. I'm also open to all kinds of feedback. So I'll share this call with you, and you're welcome to tell me now or tell me later, like what worked for you, what didn't work for you, what you don't want to ever try again, and what you do want to try more of, that kind of stuff. Because I'm kind of just shooting from the hip here a little bit, just kind of going with what feels right. And that's different for each person I work with. So there's one last thing I was thinking about, a particular part, which was that little girl in the big room.
Yeah.
I wonder how these other parts would feel about maybe you offering something to her. Offering
her what?
Something that would help her feel more comfortable until you're able to revisit her.
I mean, I don't know if this is what you were going for, but what came to my mind is like a teddy of some sort, like a bunny. Yeah, a bunny.
Would the other parts be okay with you offering her a bunny?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that and see how she responds.
So, like, when you asked me, then you said you were just wondering about the girl in the big room. Like, she was very much there, not here, And then after I said about the bunny,
she's here now.
She's inside me.
Yeah.
Like a little cavity in my, like where my heart is. Like.
Yeah, that's where she is in your body.
Yeah.
Would she like that from you? Would she like a bunny or something else?
No, I think the bunny is perfect.
Okay, great. Let her know that we won't forget about her. Yeah, we'll come back to her when we have time and permission from all these other protectors. And we'll learn about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be able to tell you her story. And you can give her all the other things that she needs.
Right. Okay. She wants that.
Awesome. Me too.
Well, I'd want that. I don't know.
Sounds like we all want that.
Hmm.
I think that's great. I also think you probably will have plenty of protectors along the way who say, hold on, not so fast. And we've already met lots of them.
Right.
So it's kind of the two phases of the work, or the two, you can work with those protectors, get to know them, offer them what they need. And you can also kind of go to this exile who is probably driving a lot of them, or that they're working to protect. And both of those should help everybody relax and come to experience that self-leadership and that ability to go to and to hold and to provide for different parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me, or concerns or comments?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You know where to find me.
Yeah. Lots of thoughts, but not that I want to share like right now.
Okay.
Or maybe not at all, I don't know, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Feel free to message me. I'll send you this call, and hope we can do it again sometime if you're up for that.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.